What's up, cool cats and kittens? Give me a minute. We'll get started. All right, let's give you a fancy opening. Good morning. Hold on. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot, isn't it? Hold on. Good Lord, that's a lot. How's that? Is that better? Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. All right. I'll give you how I see Nvidia, and we'll start there. Where's the audio? Right there. Cool. I'll show you how I see Nvidia, and then we'll go from there. So here's the pre and the post. If you were on last night, I'm going to cut out this trade and show you how I did this. A lot of people, like if you were live, I bought this last night, and then people were like asking like how I knew. You never know. Let me just restart there. But I bought it down here, and I just want to show how I did that. So I'm actually probably going to do a whole video on it, but I will go through it. Anyway, you see your levels right here? You have to watch this like a hawk. You've got tons of upgrades today, and I think that you're fine. I really do. I think that you're okay. I like the upgrades. I think the problem is the slower data center growth. And I think to me, like I just look at it and go, yeah, that might not be, the worst thing in the world. It is what it is. I just want to see how it acts. Like I'm not thinking that we're going to rip everyone's face off today. I see it moving. I mean, nothing would make me happier, believe me. But I have to look at this and go, do I really want to trade this thing? Like, do I really want to be involved like this right now? Like, I want to see how it acts. Like the big level for me, don't get me wrong. Like these things are moving. Like this is great if you bought last night, but the big thing for me is going to be the big levels. Like, does this really go? Do I really get up to here? Can I break through that? You're going to have a lot of people that have calls, a lot of people that have puts, and they're all going to be, moving around today and making their moves and PCEs tomorrow. So I'm of the camp of, just staying out of the way and like watch the key levels. And to me, these are really those key levels. You could actually argue that that's the low. right here. You take the exact low, and you tried and failed, bonked, tried, held, and they're trying to flip it right here. See it? So that would be the level that I would use for Nvidia. If you had to tell me to rate the call and everything, I thought it was good. I don't like when like he used the word stuff, like, oh, like we build stuff. Like, I was like, oh, okay. And you know, a large percentage of their revenue is, you know, Meta and, you know, Microsoft and Amazon. So you're going to hit a point here where, you know, one of the, I think it was Di in the room, just pointed out that like, oh, 50% of they're saying CapEx is going to grow at 50% next year. I mean, you're at $100 billion right now. Are you going to be at 150 billion next year? Like, really? Like, that's I mean, you start getting to a number where it's like, and I'm not knocking it, but when you think about it, like, really? Like, is that really what's going to happen? I don't think so. I'm just going to be blunt. Like, I don't think they're getting to that. And I own the stock. I'm not going anywhere. But I don't know, man. That's a hell of a number to come out and throw out there that you think that they're going to do that. You got the CEO of Microsoft out there today trying to explain how to use Microsoft Copilot. So, I mean, things are going that well. You know, I don't know. That's how I look at this. Microsoft, to me, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments about this. I like when you flip these 55s. I'm just going to point out the stuff that I think is important. I like when you flip these 55s and hold. I just feel like I need to see more confirmation next week. And and maybe that is bad for me, but you know, it's more I don't want to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. If I get rid of the pre and the post, you know, I'm still under here, and the 3, the 5, and the 8 really need to start lifting for me to actually have any interest in doing this trade. This does tend to work very well for me, waiting for that kind of flip on those kinds of swings. You can see that. It just keeps me out of harm's way some of the time. So I like it, and I think it's a very simple tool to use. I had a trade in this. It did not work. I sold it. I had a swing trade in it. It did not work. I got out of the swing trade. For me, I think that it's just one of those things where you're better off focusing on getting through PCE tomorrow. And I'm going to go through some of the econ data because I think that's super important. Coreweave was the big winner last night. I don't see, I mean, I'm just going to give you my opinion. I don't think that people get why it's doing the way that it is, but you have a level up here, and you just might want to watch that level. Let me just show you that level so that you can see it for yourselves. And there it is on the hourly chart. And you just might want to watch that level because, you know, it's a big one. And if you flip it, cool. Also, 100 is going to be a big deal. So, you know, if you think it's going to go, look for the pullbacks and then go from there. And I think that you're better off doing that kind of thing than chasing anything today. Now, chasing off the rip might just be the only chance that you guys get, and then you're going to have to figure it out from there. But I'm not so sure on that. You know, give me 1 second here. I gotta do something. Let me just see there. Give me 1 second, guys. I just got to do something here. Sorry, guys. I forgot all about this. Come on. So, I'm sorry. So definitely something that, you know, when I look at it, let me just grab something real quick. The following tabs that you can restore your individual tabs. Would you like to optimize your platform? No, I want you to go away. Optimize my platform. Do you want to optimize it? No, I want you to leave. Why would I optimize? Dude, they got to leave me alone in the morning with optimizing my platform. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. 1 second here. There we go. And then there, and then someone will tell me they can see my IP address. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I should have had this set up ahead of time, and I completely forgot about this. back to this for a second. I'm going to go back to this. So whether this goes, it doesn't go, today for me, the biggest thing is going to be just leave your levels marked. I'm going to mark another one while I'm thinking about it right here and put that there. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry, guys. I really do think that this is going to be wild today. I'm really afraid of this, and it probably means that it doesn't happen, but I'll show you what I'm afraid of. See how like they gap up and then they just drop it? I really am getting that sense today that they're trying to get it back over and then they're just going to hammer it. Now, I could be wrong, and I've been wrong before. I'm going to be wrong again. But this is definitely something that is on my radar. Like that could happen. Let's go back to the Coreweave, and then I want to go back and just some software names. So if you stay over this level, it's definitely something that, I would be paying attention to. It can 100%, stay above here and go. You have a ton of people that are short this thing. So, keep that in mind. I definitely think that this is, on the radar for sure for me today. So MDB crushed. And the only reason that I actually was in this, the only reason I sold it yesterday and not held it overnight was just the mere fact that I was worried about what Nvidia was going to do. So I just locked it in. But you're probably getting a 3 handle today. You're right against this core level. If you're not asking about this name, you should be. But I'd watch that 300 and go from there. Just looking at how some of this stuff's trying to bounce today. Maybe I'm wrong the way I'm thinking, but I ain't buying any of it. So maybe I'm too callous. I don't know. I know. Crowd. This was a real interesting one because I didn't listen to the call, but apparently they explained why the growth was so slow, and that's why it lifted like this. I would leave the VWAP where it is, watch the VWAP. I'd watch that opening bar, which was the gap down from the earnings. Like it just literally opened down, went down. And then from there, you can see the turn when they explained that it's all going to be back end loaded. Stock went back to that level. Algos hit it again. So you've got some pretty defined areas there. Give me a second here. Yeah, I don't think that is the worst idea. All right, cool. Sorry, I'm just looking for something. So I think that this is super interesting. And if they're wrong, they're going to buy the heck out of this thing off the open. Snow as well was really good, but you're in this range and you can just watch the range right there. So just check something here. Give me 1 second here, please. Sorry, guys. Still a lot going on this morning, like a lot. That could definitely affect that name. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Sorry. There's so much in my mind. I want to go back to this. I think the AVGO and this stuff, I think this stuff's fine. I do think that you got to watch the data center numbers. It really is bothering me how they're acting on that. So, it's really bothering. It's really bothering me. I'm really concerned about this growth. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to work it in Saturday's video, but I want to show you this. I showed it publicly already or privately this morning, but I just want you guys to see this. This is what's on my mind. This is why I'm talking like with weird words, because I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. So here, let me show you this. This is the data center growth, and their data center growth is slowing. So I ran this through the internets, but their data center growth is slowing right here. And you can screenshot it if you want, but it's for the first time sequential decrease in data center growth, and the reliance on Meta and these companies to grow at 50% next year, I think is batch. I'll just leave it at that. I think it's batty. I just don't see it. And it's like messing with my head a little bit. So, long term, I don't think the company's going anywhere. But the question is, does the growth slow? And if the growth slows, then, it's got to grow into the valuation, which is a completely, utterly different trade. So, but so we'll have to see how this plays out. I'm a little concerned about the sell-off yesterday too, ahead of PCE tomorrow. Let's go to ES. And, I get these moves and you're trying to get over that 6,500 and it looks great. Like, this really does look great. It looks like we're really trying, like we're really going to do it. And maybe we are, but I really have to see it go. And I'm just not there. I'm really concerned about what I'm seeing, and I don't know how to. I keep trying to figure out the best way to express it, because some of this stuff because I've been around so long, back in the day, and sometimes you just see this crap and you're like, oh man, they're going to hammer us, and sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're just dead wrong, and you got to look at what the chart's doing. So I'll show you this. So I'm not crazy about this at all. Not at all. So if I look at the RSI here for a second, I'll show you what I'm looking at. And I'm going to get more into this on Saturday, but no, it's not perfect, but I'm showing you a trajectory, right? So if I look at this trajectory and then I come here and it's like, well, what are we doing? Now you've come back down from here, but then you have it again following through, right? Not so much to that level, but now it's starting again right here. So, maybe I'm off base on it, but it's definitely, messing with me a little bit. So I figure I'll put it out there. I really think that what we're seeing too is if you go here, watch this, because I think the concepts are more important today than just look at this name, look at that name. If I look at something like the IWO, right, which is growth, and then you go here and you look at IWN. Come on, work. There we go. I look at something like IWN. I'll show you. There we go. Okay. Come on. There it goes. So, and let's get rid of the pre and the post, but you can see it already, right? So this is what you're dealing with, right? Now, if you go back through time, it's usually not this way. So if I go back this through time, it's usually not like this. So when you start seeing it and you go back to August, let's just go back to August exactly so you'll see it. So when you go back to August, they're buying value. Like they're buying value way more than they're buying, growth. And, that's always a sign that you probably should start getting defensive. So I'm starting to see things like that. It's definitely becoming an issue. Um, I don't know, man. You got to watch that stuff. So it's definitely on the radar. We went over MDB. We went over the ES. I'll show you the levels on the ES on the 5. And then you got to just prep for tomorrow, PCE. I think that's going to be a big deal. You got some data today that might give us some indication of that. I don't think we're going to have time to go over that. But I really do think that, let me just go to this as well. Let me just see something here so I can see what's going on there. Good. We'll see how this goes. But I really think that you're there. You're really at this level where I don't know that you're just going to like, oh, we're going to get through. Now, maybe if PCE is weak tomorrow, maybe that's what does it, right? I'm talking out loud because I'm trying to think, but it's really playing with me. I'm wondering if the bidding up is predicated upon them trying to get retail in. And whenever I get this like feeling to like be capital preservation mode and I don't pay attention to it, it never really ends well for me. So I learned to listen to it. So I just feel that way, like, okay, raise the stops, watch the levels, individual trades, and then go from there. That's where my head is with it. So I don't think it gets much clearer, does it? So, I mean, as goes Nvidia, goes the stock market. What is it now as a percentage of the S&P? So it's up there, right? All right, cool. Let's get to this. Let me see some things here. See where I'm at. Yep, perfect. All right, good. Let's do it. I'll try to get through as many as I can. I have to go at 9. I have a lot on. I have a ton of Nvidia. I did bull flag, breakout. You think it's going to go? The Coreweave's interesting. The Coreweave can go, dude. Like when people really understand how that call benefits them, or like when they really get it, I think that they're going to look at this thing and say, why don't I own it? I don't know that I'd be looking to swing trade it. I think that you could day trade it for a couple of days here. Maybe you got to stay over 100. I played the big dog. I did not play this. That was a mistake, clearly, because this was the way to go. I'm really surprised at how well software is doing. It's doing a lot better than we thought, isn't it? Cracker Barrel, I think, is going to be fine. I think she looked at this and was like, I'd like to keep my job, and I don't want to be like the Bud Light lady. So I don't think it got any clearer than like, no, we're keeping the white dude. Okay, cool. I don't know. I truly did not think it was that big of a deal, but apparently they were trying to get like people to eat salads instead of grits and all kinds of things. So yeah, it's a problem. Like people go there for that feeling. It's actually, you go there for like your grits and your country fried steak. It's good. Someone said they have one in Miami, Pembroke Pines. Anyway, stock responded very favorably to getting the new logo. You're back over. So, maybe there's something to that. It's not my kind of trade. I'd have to get over that doji for me to even have remote interest in it. And right now, I don't really have a lot of interest in that. So we'll see. What else you got? Elf. I'm really into the apparel names right now. It makes so much sense to look at this. It really, really does. And to look at these names, like all these kinds of names. I don't know if this is the one that I want to do. You can see how it did on earnings, and then it went from there on earnings. I think they're so beaten down because of all the liberation that we've just accepted. Just so much winning, so much liberation that some of these names are so cheap. I don't know how cheap this is, dude. I really don't. Like there's 50 cents, 50 cents, 30 cents. So you're at a buck 25, buck 50, call it two, give it $2 just to make it simple, right? You're still what? 50 times trailing 12. Like it's not a cheap name compared to the clothiers. Like when you look at the clothing names, like they're super cheap. So, they are super, super cheap. So I'd go from there and see how that goes. And let me just see something. And yeah, that's going to be enormous. So let's go from there. It does look like it wants to go. I agree with you. It does have a feel like it wants to go. But, as they like to say, the first hit of crack is free. And once you're in, you're in. So that's really where my head is with it, man. I wish it wasn't. I truly wish it wasn't, but it really feels to me like they're just trying to get you in, get you settled and go, oh, come on in. And then kind of go from there. Happy Thursday. I want to go through the super fast, guys. DPST looks great. And let's do the LEU because I got a lot of questions on this one. I like the LEU. My problem is with, I think, overall the market. And do you get enough support today to hold that? And this is what I'm really afraid of. And if we start seeing this kind of behavior, I will put the brakes on. But we're seeing these breakouts above the 55, which usually lure me in, right? I like these a lot. Like these are the cat's pajamas. Like they're just the trades. But like all of a sudden it's like, well, we're not going to go that way. We're going to go down. Okay. Well, why'd you break out if you're just going to dump it? So I'm just wondering how much they're playing with the algorithms and playing with these kinds of movements, all these computers now, these kids with their internets. I'm wondering how much of that we have going on. So, it's definitely of interest to me. So I want to watch that very, very closely and see how that goes. And I think that's like super, super important. It is for me, like to watch that and see how that's going to play out. And I really think that at the end of the day, if I had to buy two names, if someone's like gun to your head, what two names do you buy? I personally think you buy LEU and BWXT because they're the ones that do billions, but you need some confirmation here. You need some real confirmation. And I don't know that you're going to, get that. And so to me, that's something that I would definitely pay attention to. Yeah. Yeah. I would be careful here because here's the other thing that they're doing a great job of too. Like watch this. So I know I'm talking a ton of process today, guys. And not going over as many names. I'll try and do like a lightning round. See where you closed right here. See how they made sure that you went over that close, up and over that close. Watch when we drop it on a 5 and watch what happens. So there's the previous close, right? See how they took you over? Oh, look, everything's fine. No, here's your confirm bar. And then after your confirm bar, what do you got? Oh, here's your push. And then you never were able to get over it. This is the kind of crap that they're doing right now. And so this is why people are getting smoked because they're buying these kinds of breakouts. And when you're buying the breakouts and it's not working, look at this Nvidia. Come on back. Come on back, baby. So and you're buying these kinds of breakouts. This is the kind of crap that happens. And this is really how you need to view it. So from my perspective, when I see this, it's definitely of interest. It's definitely of interest. So I'm seeing too much nonsense. Let me just say it that way. I'll give you an example. And this is why because like you'll hear me talk and be like, oh, it's over the 55, just print it. because it depends where you're on the market. So like you have a huge call wall on Tesla at 350. You broke it yesterday. You couldn't get over it. You keep breaking it. And now they're opening you up right into it saying, come on in, the water's fine. You know, it's that kind of stuff, dude, that's giving me pause. Fannie Mae is going to be a monster. So I own this. The only thing I've really, truly am kicking myself over is that I didn't think this through back here. I'm up in this. I'm up okay. Like I'm up 10, 15%. But the fact that I didn't think this through when he got reelected, you know, that haunts me. I wake up in a cold sweat thinking about it sometimes because it makes perfect sense. He's a deal maker. That's all he's trying to do over and over again. DPST looks great. I think if you look at KRE and you look at some of these names, they're outright home runs. You know, like Keys, they'll just keep grinding. MTB, all those names will just keep moving. The hedge funds love this one. It's got the best balance sheet, strongest, whatever. But the DPST will just keep grinding. Usually the way to do this trade, it's not an easy trade. Like it's just not. You know, you have the move, then you have the inside. Now you keep moving. First off, they always end in tears, right? Because eventually it'll crack. Second thing with it is this, and this is, I think, the most important thing about it. When you do something like this, or you do a trade like this, to me, it's always very important to understand that eventually you're going to have a really bad day, but you have a time frame with trades like this. So it's 3 months after the first rate cut is historically where the majority of money is made in those trades. So the fact that it took so long for them to cut rates again, it's almost like a reset of it, right? From the last rate cut that we got. And so what they'll say is, okay, so it's a reset from there. So you have 3 months out for that. So it really puts you close to the end of the year where that might rally, and then you kind of go from there. I would say this, dude, if you saw this, I think that this makes a ton of sense. In about 2 weeks, if you take these two numbers right here and you add them together, like let's say you start back here on the 12th and you'll see them right in here. Let me move that over. Say this. I should stop making that green so you can see the numbers. See how they're going? So you see how they're getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, right? So every day they'll go, right? So you're at about, you're at what, 8.5 off. So if you go back through it, you'll see that you're like 7.5 off. So like every 3 days, you're gaining about $1. So in about, you know, from there, you got to think in about 2 to 3 weeks, if everything was linear, you're going to have a golden cross. And you're going to have that probably on KRE eventually too. Well, you already have it, right? Remember? Ooh, death cross. I got to get out. Wow. They don't work. Golden crosses work. Death crosses are nonsense. By the time a death cross happens, it's over. Nothing is over. Nothing. So we went over Nvidia ad nauseum. I'm never giving up on Nvidia. Like it's not a function of giving up on Nvidia. It's a function of understanding where you are in the cycle, right? Like when was the right time to sell Microsoft? Well, never, right? Like if you never sold Microsoft, you're happy. You had to go through the bomber years, but you're happy. I don't think many people made it through the bomber years. I know I didn't. You know, you got to realize, guys, like this stuff comes to an end. You had the single most volume of any stock, I think it was on Friday. Like more shares traded on this than anything else. Like that's usually a top. You know, just because some guys get out there and they're hired as promoters to go out there and tell you this thing's going to 80 doesn't mean it's going to 80. Like you have to understand there's promoters, right? And like they're paid a lot of money by hedge funds to do what they do and run these things up, like a lot of money, not a little bit of money, especially when they have like big followings and reputations. And that's exactly what's happening here. I don't know if it's going to 80. Maybe the guy's right. Maybe it is going to 80. It's not going there today. So you're going to have to see fundamental changes at the company in order to get this thing up to that level, unless you get a short squeeze. But there's too many shares outstanding, and the float's not that short. So, I was making a joke that iPad will get there first because iPad or OPAD has an A, not an E. You know, I didn't do it. I was talking about like 3 days before this happened, where I'm like, why not just buy this one? It's cheaper. And then I guess everyone kind of figured that out as well. But I try to avoid this stuff and in terms of, oh, this is the one that's going to make me money. They're BS names, dude. Like, I bought this nuke, right? And I might have been in it for 10 minutes. And all I'm doing with this trade is just pulling money out. Like, I think I bought that bar and then it pops. And then I'm kicking it. I'm kicking some out, right? They open it up again. I kick some out. And so by the time I'm done, the rest is just a runner at break even in case the thing goes to a bazillion. That's how you trade this crap. You don't marry it. You don't fall for the story. You don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Oh, they're going to reinvent what? What are they going to reinvent? What are they going to reinvent? The way we buy houses? Okay. They're going to this company is going to reinvent the housing industry. Okay. Come on, Julian. Come on, man. Come on, buddy. I think we're way off on how affected. Let me get rid of this. I think we're way off on how affected Chat GPT and AI are going to affect software companies. This is what I'm like. This is like the other side of that coin, right? So this is such a great question, dude. Like just bringing up the name because I remember doing this. Like, so when I see earnings like that and I see slowdowns, like I'll do a ton of research on stuff. So this is the side of the coin, right? So like, just think about it this way. Here's this huge AI bubble, right? All right, cool. And then so this thing, it's going to reinvent anything. It's going to teach us languages. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. And then you have an event, and that event is data center slowdown, right? And that's one side of this huge AI thing. And data center slowdown. All right, so that their growth is slowing sequentially. Cool. Well, you can't do trillions. Then you have the other side of this. Because of this huge bubble, we're all going to learn languages in 5 minutes, and we're all going to need this, and we're not going to need software anymore, and blah, 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 blah. Well, there's two sides to this argument. If we're not adopting AI as fast as we think it is, then software companies are going to rock and roll, right? Because the implementation by corporations is much slower than we think it is because they're not seeing ROI. So they're going to go back to Net, to CrowdStrike, to whatever it is, Snow, MDB, right? I mean, it just makes sense. If they're not going to adopt the new paradigm, and I think you have the CEO of Microsoft doing a free course online, how to use Chat GPT on Microsoft Office. Does that sound like it's going well? Like, it doesn't sound like you can go on Twitter and you'll see it. Like, I think he put it out there today. He's like being harassed over it. Like, bro, things must be bad. So I think you're seeing that AI adoption is coming. It's slower than we usually think it is. And software names are still seeing that flow from corporations into their products. Oh, that makes sense, right? That makes a little more sense if you think about it that way, right? So I think these companies are fine. And I think we were all bamboozled and hoodwinked, run amok, right? I think they're all setting up. I mean, I think when we see it, that's happening. And I think that if you look at it from those two sides of the coin, it makes a little more sense, maybe, right? Hopefully that helps, Chuck. Julian, no, it hasn't gotten any better. I'm gonna have to go through this. I have a friend in Argentina right now. A bunch of people in the room go to Argentina. I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, here's the thing. They did a budget surplus. This is where their surplus kicked in, right? Or it was like here, surplus. I mean, it doesn't really get any better, man. AVGO, ASML is very interesting to me, getting over that level. I like NBIS. I have a position in it. I don't know if today's my day for that. I'm more in defensive mode here, to be quite honest. Like, I'm just trying to rally the wagons here. Yeah, why these YouTubers make us wait? Damn YouTubers. making us wait. AOI. What's up, Journal? Victory music. It doesn't really get better than that. Happy Thursday, Lynn. Thank you. Yeah, she's failing lately. I think she's cheating on me. I know she's got another guy. I know she's got something else going on. She always was there. I don't know what it's up to now. I'll redo that video. You know what's funny? When I actually do that, people subscribe. When I put that guy up, Marvel, I wouldn't go near. Bro, that was brutal, Ian. That was brutal. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing's not even moving. But then I wanted to stay and listen to the call. I mean, I had the one trade, that was it. But that was it. What's up, Jack? What do you got? WTBN. I'm gonna have to go here, guys. I mean, I don't know why it jumped, buddy. I'm gonna have to go there. But I'm gonna have to see if there's anything I have to go over. The Tesla thing scared me. You know, I should probably do that real quick and go through this, guys, but I'm going to have to just run through this and see if I'm missing anything. And I'll go from there, but I got to go here. GDP's up. Okay. Continuing claims are still 1950. Core PCE prices came in lower, and that can mean that PCE comes in lower tomorrow, which would rocket the market, actually. It's actually an indicator of that. I'm going to end here and flip this over. Sorry that you have to see me. Hold on. There it goes. Boop. All right. You got it? Yay. Hold on. All right. Let's just end on this note. 3.3%. Continuing claims is still bad, but it's getting lower. We see this PC prices. This can give you an indication. There's a correlation between this and PCE. And just watch it. It's actually down, so that might actually be good for us. So I'll have to say, I'm just going to go through this real quick. Cracker Barrel's fine, it looks like. That's what I'm saying. Like the PE is insane on that, right? Taylor Swift. Oh, did you really just type Taylor Swift in here? Travis announces True Colors partnership with AEL. Jesus God. I don't know. I own it, so I guess that's good. DG looks good. Earnings were good. What's this? What are you saying? What do you got? ANF. It's fine. I own it. I think software is completely underrated. I think PLTR is fine. I just think it's overvalued. I got to jump, guys. Trade to win. Make good choices.